Hey, what's up, stream keepers, and welcome back to my channel. And in today's topic, I actually wanted to give you guys a summary of what I have actually given a talk of in South Africa. It includes a lot of different topics. I actually went there to actually share some of this information with the local breeders out there. So I actually wanted to, take this opportunity to just share what and give us a high-level summary of what actually happened. And I really appreciate the support, and of course I can actually see that the stream breeding community over there will definitely grow as times goes by, because I realized that in many countries they're bound to be, even in Singapore, they're bound to be, different clusters or different groups of breeders as well. Some of the breeders are more, they are more conservative in that sense. Some are more, they are more bold. So I think either ways they are fine. So but one of the things that I actually wanted to mention is that in this hobby, I think having the knowledge, having the information is very critical for the actually the community or the entire hobby to actually grow. Because without the right information, you are actually, the blind leading the blind, and then you get more and more issues and people just quit the hobby and things like that. So let me quickly just jump straight into the today's topic. Actually, what I actually discussed through, over the talk that I gave in South Africa is that, there are a few things that is being mentioned. So one of them is actually the difference between stream breeding and versus stream keeping, and the infrastructure, the hard and soft water parameters. Some of the things is a recap of what I have actually released in terms of the videos as well. So actually, a lot of these are high-level information. There are actually specific videos for each and every one of them, but I just wanted to go through some of this very high-level information with you guys. So one of the things that we actually look at is the very first thing that I actually shared is actually having a vision. Having a vision, having a direction of where you want to take this hobby into in the future, right? You may not know what you actually want to be, or where you want to be in terms of the stream breeding hobby. However, as times go by, you will slowly adjust and then understand where you really want to be. If not, then as you keep breeding, then it gets stale, and there's not much of an interaction, and the hobby just fizzles out. I mean, your passion just fizzles out. So having a direction on where you want to go in terms of this hobby, I think that's the first thing that I actually shared with the South Africa breeders. So I talk a little bit about the difference between stream breeding and stream keeping. There's actually, it's not oxymoronic. You can actually have both as well. You can do some stream breeding, you can do some stream keeping as well. And then the other topics that I actually went through is actually about infrastructure. Having the infrastructure set up right. It may not be right now, but having to set up the infrastructure as you progress on, you adjust it. I think the infrastructure part actually, it will kind of encapsulate what you actually can keep in the infrastructure. For example, if you have like 20 tanks, then of course then you can keep 20 tanks of streams. However, if you are only limited yourself to only 5 or 6 tanks, then of course then you have 5 or 6 tanks. However, no, it doesn't mean that having more tanks will always be better, right? Of course, having more tanks, you will have more flexibility, but it doesn't mean that it will be better, in a sense that even with 5 or 6 tanks and you keep quality streams, then of course it it shows a lot of great information. It shows a lot of great direction in where you want to keep this keep your hobby. So there's really no right and wrong in terms of the number of tanks you have. However, the infrastructure, which means that your setup, your your water parameters and stuff like that, are very important. Then we slowly we move on to the thick and the thin soil method, the pros and cons, advantage and the disadvantages of it. And then we went directly into the hard and soft water parameters, which is very critical, which is the one of the most important thing that I actually wanted to share in this video, is that I have made a video about the 4 guiding principles of stream keeping or stream breeding. I think that is actually the fundamental or the foundation of where a stream breeder should actually take a look at where they are in that process. Then after which I went through and talk about some of this range versus absolute, whether uh, 180 TDS, 140 TDS, 120 TDS, or 80 TDS. No, is does it make a big difference, or what does it mean? So these are some of the things that we shared with the group as well. And then of course, what is the soft and hard reset of things. I did mention about having that thin layer of soil is very easy for us to actually do a soft reset. It takes a very short while. Then we went through about selective breeding. We went through to talk about the stream ratio having grow up tanks. I think that's also very critical in that sense because the stream ratio will ensure your survivability and your breeding rate of your streams as well. So these are some of the very high level introduction of what we actually shared. Of course, during the talk, I give a lot more in-depth information as well that I have also shared in some of my videos. However, what the South Africa breeders had is that they have that flexibility to ask me questions and they were able to get answers almost immediately from there. And then we talk about how do we actually differentiate male and female. I think that's also very important of the of during selective breeding. And then finally I close with a topic about giving back to the community as well, because one of the things that we often do is that in this hobby we always take we take the information, we try to we always keep taking. I really hope that for those who have been who have learned a lot, who have really gained a lot in terms of the stream hobby, should consider giving back to the community, like in terms of giving back your time, giving back your knowledge to the community, and giving back what you actually did to be successful in terms of your breeding hobby. So I think these are some of the things that we actually went through during the talk as well. I have met up with several of the breeders there. Very interesting. I can see that there's a lot of passion. So I wanted to give a special shout out to to Peter, who actually organized that event, and of course to John, who I met him, who invited me to his place. Uh, and of course Neil as well. So these are some of the guys that I actually met them face to face and been to their places as well. It's really an amazing journey, and I really appreciate and very grateful for their support as well. For hosting me there in South Africa. So this is one of the things that I would like to maybe highlight in the entire stream community. When I first started off this stream hobby, many years ago, there were a lot of this, like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, about these clusters and these groups of this community. There are different communities in the stream breeding uh, in this stream breeding hobby, in the sense that like-minded people cluster together, and then they have their own methods and things like that. And I don't see that as a bad thing. And however, I think what is pulling the entire community down is that there's a lot of back and forth and bad mouthing of each other. I think that is in it itself is it has no positive impact to the community. It actually has a negative impact in that sense, because if you keep bad mouthing each other, then at the end of the day, you are attacking each other. You are not actually growing, or some people are fairly defensive in their ways and things like that. However, for what we are actually creating is that we create a very parallel community where we share things openly. We are very transparent in terms of our knowledge sharing. We are very scientific based, and we are also we look at different methods. We don't really pull down each other and say that, okay, your method is not as good as ours. I think there's always a better method, uh, definitely, but any method that suits you will be fine as well. And one of the things that we actually look at is simplicity, right? So in many of my videos we talk about simplicity, and I have spoken to many breeders around the world, and those that have been in this hobby for more than 10 years, you know, their methodology have evolved over time. They also got when they start, they also, you know, put in a lot of things and things like that. However, as we go, when times goes by, they start to, you know, start to take things out from the tank as well, and really cherish the simplicity of the entire hobby. So I would like to take this opportunity to thank the South Africa breeders again. Really appreciate the time and effort to, you know, to have that all set up, you know, and I really look forward to them again in 2023. I really hope that I'll be able to see them again. And so thanks for watching this video. And for those who like this video, please remember to give a thumbs up. And for those who are new to this channel, please remember to give click on the subscribe button. So thank you very much, and until next time, peace out.